She's probably one of the most recognizable figures on the entire planet. That 305-foot copper sentinel just watching over New York Harbor. But you know, that familiar image we all have in our heads? It hides this absolutely dramatic story, one so full of crises and last-minute rescues that it almost didn't happen at all. So let's dive into that incredible journey, because that's exactly what she was, a colossal puzzle. One that was designed in one country, had to be shipped to another, and was ultimately paid for by this incredible act of public will. Her journey from just an idea to the icon we know today was, let's just say, anything but smooth. I mean, just think about the sheer scale of this challenge. This wasn't just building a statue. It was this massive international construction project that had to be taken apart, packed into hundreds of custom-built crates, and then sailed across the stormy Atlantic. And believe it or not, that was before the real problems even started.
So, where did this monumental idea even come from? Well, for that, we have to go all the way back to 1865. The American Civil War had just ended, and over in France, a historian named Édouard de la Boulaye proposed this grand gesture, a gift to the United States to celebrate the Union victory, the end of slavery, and the shared democratic ideals between the two nations.
Okay, so here was the deal, and this is a really crucial point. France would handle the statue itself, which was a colossal undertaking, obviously. But America, they had to provide the home, which meant building an equally colossal pedestal. It was a partnership, right? It split the challenge, but as we're about to see, it also split the success. The sculptor, a guy named Frederick Auguste Bartholdi, he packed every single inch of this statue with meaning. The crown's 7 rays, they symbolize enlightenment spreading out across the whole world. The tablet, of course, ties her directly to American independence, but you gotta look closer, down at her feet. Those are broken chains and shackles. This wasn't just some generic symbol of liberty, it was a direct, powerful statement celebrating the end of slavery in America. Now, creating a 151-foot tall hollow statue is one thing, but how in the world do you make sure it doesn't just get blown over by the hurricane-force winds in New York Harbor? That is a whole different problem. Bartholdi was a brilliant artist, for sure, but for this, he needed an engineering genius. And that genius was Gustave Eiffel. And yes, I mean that Eiffel. He came up with this completely revolutionary internal structure. So first you've got a massive central iron pylon, kind of like a spine. Then from that, a lighter secondary skeleton branched out. But the real game changer was this network of flat iron bars that connected the skeleton to the copper skin. This allowed the skin to kind of float. It could expand in the heat, contract in the cold, and sway in the wind without shattering. And get this, the skin of the statue is incredibly thin. We're talking less than the thickness of 2 pennies put together. And yet, because of Eiffel's curtain wall design, a technique that would actually go on to inspire the world's first skyscrapers, this super fragile shell could withstand the full force of the Atlantic. It's just amazing. So while France was celebrating this incredible engineering triumph, a huge crisis was brewing across the ocean. The statue was almost done, but the American side of the deal, the pedestal, was in some serious trouble.
So, through things like public fees, lotteries, and donations, the French people had successfully raised all the money they needed for the statue. But in America, well, fundraising had just completely stalled. The American Committee, which was mostly made up of wealthy businessmen, had run out of money, and both Congress and the governor of New York flat out refused to provide any public fund. And this is where we reach the peak of the crisis. In June of 1885, a French frigate sails into New York Harbor carrying 214 crates. The gift had arrived, but the pedestal was nothing more than a stump. For almost a full year, all 350 pieces of the Statue of Liberty just sat there in their crates on Bedloe's Island, a homeless puzzle with no place to be put together.
The whole project was right on the verge of total failure. I mean, other cities, like Philadelphia and Boston, were actually offering to pay for the pedestal if the statue was moved there. New York was about to face a monumental embarrassment. And then, a newspaper publisher stepped in and changed absolutely everything. His name was Joseph Pulitzer, owner of the New York World, and he launched what might be one of the most brilliant crowdfunding campaigns in history. He used his newspaper to shame the rich for not donating, and, more importantly, to empower ordinary people. He completely reframed the project with this powerful idea. This was a gift from the people for the people. And the people answered.
Oh, did they answer? Over 120,000 individuals responded. Pulitzer printed the name of every single donor in his paper, no matter how small the amount. A group of children sent in the dollar they had saved to go to the circus. A poor office boy sent 5 cents. It was this incredible outpouring of support from everyday citizens that raised the final $100,000 in just 6 months.
With the funding finally secured, the last pieces of the puzzle just fell into place with remarkable speed. The pedestal was finished by April 1886. That summer, a fearless construction crew, and poetically, it was made up of many recent immigrants, worked at these dizzying heights to reassemble the giant puzzle. Finally, on October 28, 1886, Liberty Enlightening the World was dedicated.
But the story doesn't end there, not even close. Because almost as soon as the statue is standing, its meaning began to change in a way that its creators had never really anticipated.
You see, the original intent was very clear, a celebration of a political alliance and some pretty abstract ideals. But her location was everything. In 1892, the Federal Immigration Station opened on nearby Ellis Island. So for the millions of immigrants who had passed through New York, she wasn't some symbol of a past alliance. She was the very first thing they saw of their new home. She became a personal symbol of welcome and hope.
And this new identity, as the mother of exiles, was cemented by just a few powerful lines of poetry. They were written by a woman named Emma Lazarus way back in 1883 for one of those early failed fundraisers. Her poem was pretty much forgotten until 1903, when it was engraved on a bronze plaque and placed inside the pedestal, forever linking the statue with the immigrant journey.
So, a statue that was first conceived to celebrate a historic alliance evolved into something so much more personal. It became a promise. The story of Liberty is a story of incredible engineering for sure. It's a story of how the collective will of ordinary people saved a national treasure. And ultimately, it's the story of how a symbol's meaning can transform, turning a monument into the enduring promise of a home for a dream.